Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and it has been exactly 3 years since I first uploaded a video to this YouTube channel. And this is just a bit of a video to look back, and it's going to be a bit of a rambly video. And if you ever see me looking down this way, it's my laptop is there, it's where all my notes are. I have a lot to get through in this video, and I don't want to miss anything. Let's dial things back. So let's go all the way back to early 2020. Pandemic's hitting, lockdowns are starting, and you know, I was bored, I needed a project, and I decided, you know what, why not start a YouTube channel? I'd had this idea of wanting to be a science communicator for a while, so yeah, why not start one? I mean, I've wanted to be a YouTuber for a long time. I started a channel back in high school, which are thankfully long gone, but for those wondering, I tried to do tech YouTube without having A, the real technical knowledge for it, and B, the budget. And then I tried to do gaming YouTube as well, and I didn't have a good enough computer. Also, I was about 14, so that didn't go well either. Anyway, new passion, science communication. I decided I wanted to become a science communicator with a focus on physics and particularly astronomy. So this YouTube channel was born. Early days, 3 years ago. I uploaded a video about how physics makes it easier to get to Mars. The idea being that because we're in a coplanar flat solar system, makes it easier to get to Mars, and that happens because of physics. If we were all misaligned, it would be harder. Fine. Premise was good, but the video, it sucked. It was genuinely awful. A terrible video, but you know, I'd had fun, so I made another one. This next one about like gravitational lensing, and I enjoyed making it, but that one sucked too. But I kept making more and more videos. I made stuff about stellar evolution, nuclear fusion, atmospheric pressure. They all sucked. And to be fair, some of my videos now also suck. But I was enjoying it, and I kept making videos. I got back to university and I started making vlogs. They were mid-pandemic, so not much was going on, and they weren't very good, but I made them. And because of those vlogs, I started making more university content. I made videos about direct entry to second year in Scotland. I made videos about studying, about what apps I use in my physics degree, and there were some ups and downs for the channel as well. I mean, there was the whole fact that there were months on end without really any videos. Like, there are gaps in my YouTube uploads of like 4 or 5 months at points, but I came back. I kept wanting to come back. Life kept getting in the way, and this is probably why 3 years on I've not quite made it to YouTube partner yet. But anyway, I kept going, and there were some milestones in the channel. In November 2020, I uploaded the video where I said, I am Thomas Rantoul, and I've stuck my name on the channel. When the channel first started, it was called Inversion Science. And yeah, I've since stuck my name on it. It let me, for one thing, it was me standing behind my content and saying, this is mine, and not just me doing it for a brand name. Yeah, I made myself the brand. It's what people say works on YouTube in general. And you know, I'm glad I did. In hindsight, I think it's a good move sticking my name on the channel. It ties it to me, it ties it to a person rather than just a name. So yeah, I added my name to the channel in November 2020. The other advantage with putting my name on the channel, apart from just me owning the content more, was it freed me up to work on whatever it was I wanted to make. So I'd obviously set out with the goal of being a science communicator, and then I'd find myself, you know, I want to make more university content. So I stuck my name on the channel, and it completely freed me up to do whatever I wanted. It made it more personal, it's great. I'm glad I did that. But it did mean that I started straying a little bit too far towards academic content. Around the same time as sticking my name on the channel, I posted the first video that did really, really well on the channel, which is the video that, you know, a lot of you guys will have seen, which is why you shouldn't go to St Andrews. At the time of recording, it's sitting at about 80,000 views, which is considerably higher than any other video on the channel. And it's done really well, mostly because it's searchable. I mean, there's also the LaTeX tutorial, which did like horribly when it first launched. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a 40-minute LaTeX tutorial. And then like a year and a half later, it started like really accelerating, and it's still going. It's sitting, I mean, it's like 30,000 views or something at the minute. It's really good. Ultimately, I want to be a science communicator. And in the sort of year to year and a half since that video about St Andrews, the channel has shifted a lot towards more academic content, university content. It's content I think should exist. I think there's like a bit of a lack of people talking about university, particularly in the sciences and particularly from a male perspective. And I don't mean to say that from the point of view of, it's an odd way to phrase it, but a lot of study tubers, university YouTubers, a lot of them are women. And it's one of these areas where there aren't as many men. So having that other perspective it's a useful thing to do. And I'm glad I did some of these videos, but I want to be a science communicator. And I want to be talking more about the experience of studying at university, studying science at university, and being able to communicate science through that, more so than saying, this is how you study for exams, this is my everyday carry. And that's the sort of videos that I was tending to land on because, you know, they're easier, quite frankly. They're easier videos to make. But ultimately, those videos are not what I set out to do with all this. I set out to communicate science, to get people excited about physics, and to get people really excited about astronomy, because it's a topic I love. It's my favorite thing to study, and I want people to be able to enjoy it as well. And it's something that isn't really taught in schools, and it's a real loss, honestly. So I started being more intentional, and you will have noticed this in the last few months. There's been more videos looking at scientific topics, less about university. We've had videos on accretion, on my master's project, which is still about university, but it's very much more pivoted towards the science. I've had the video, my sort of new series on galactic center star formation, which I've had one video come out at the time of this one coming out, but there's another 2 in the works at least. It's a topic that I really, really enjoy. It's something I actually did as part of my degree, but I want to share it with you guys, so I'm making a few videos about it. And ultimately that's why these are coming out now, is because I'm being more intentional. I'm trying to find that better balance between science communication and academia. I'm also just better at making science videos now. Not just that the videos are better, I'm actually better at being a science communicator now. Partially through practice, but partially because I am a better scientist now. When I started this channel, I was finishing up the 2nd year of my 5-year university degree. I'm now reaching the end of my 5th year, and I just know a lot more about astronomy. I know more about astronomy, like many times more about astronomy than I did back when I started this YouTube channel. I'm honestly not sure that I was ready to be a science communicator when I started this channel. That's not to say that I wasn't cut out to be one. Like, I certainly was. I just didn't have that practice. I didn't have a lot of the knowledge that I do now. It's just easier for me to make these videos. However, I'm sure that in, 3 years' time, I will be saying exactly the same thing about present day me as I am about 3 years ago me. That present day me is not as good a science communicator as 3 years from now me will be. And that's great, because I'm meant to be getting better at this. And I love that I do get better at this. The videos from 3 years from now will be better than the videos today, which are infinitely better than the videos 3 years ago, which is good. So 3 years on, where are we at? What is the state of the channel? I feel honestly like I'm finally getting there. The goal for a really long time has been to reach YouTube partner, to reach the threshold to become a YouTube partner, to be able to monetize videos and actually start making a bit of money for this. It's been I've always been wanting to grow because of the science, but it's a nice arbitrary goal. I'm a numbers guy. I like a number to aim for, and 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year is a pretty good target, and I'm actually nearly there. I mean, I've had a couple of decent hits on the channel. I've talked about them already. The St Andrews video and the Logitech video, and a few smaller videos that have got a few thousand views here and there, which has been nice. But yeah, on the whole, as I said, the videos have got a lot better. And what's really made the difference in the last year or so is that I now have this amazing support network. People that follow me on Twitch will have heard of the SciComm Collective, or the TSCC. This is a group of streamers and YouTubers, science communicators, and it's a really, really nice, uplifting community. There are people I can bounce ideas off, and people that, want to succeed themselves, but also for us all to succeed, because more of us doing this is just helpful for everybody. We're a group of science communicators, and ultimately that is a brilliant little group to be in. I've had a few legs up over the years. The TSAC raid on Twitch, we raid each other fairly regularly, which has given us all a bit of growth as we've all grown. And of course, the video that will have brought a lot of my subscribers to this channel, the guest video on Simon Clark's channel, that has been a huge help, and I'm really happy with how that video did, and I'm really happy with how good that video is. I think it's a real testament to the amount of to the value of content and the quality of content I'm capable of with the help of an editor. I'm not the best video editor yet, so having Luke's help for that was great. And I also learned a lot through that experience, and it's made my own content better. I'm following a lot more of a structured way of building my videos up. Honestly, I think that my content has really benefited from doing that guest video. The Galactic Center star formation video, the first one, has really benefited from me working on that Martian video for Simon's channel, because I was far better at planning it. I was more intentional with how I was going through the script. I didn't write the script, do it to camera, and then try and think, how am I going to edit this to add in graphics? I did all the thought of that beforehand, and I've been doing that a bit more with other videos, and I think it's working. This video is an exception. This is I'm following a brief ordered set of notes, the things I want to talk about, so it's a bit more rambly. But in general, for the science videos, I think it's been really good to have that experience, to get that additional knowledge, because I want to get better at this. Speaking of wanting to get better at this, clearly, my next question on my notes is, have I achieved everything I aimed to in the last 3 years? Of course not. Definitely not. My videos, they still need a lot of work. There are issues with them top to bottom. I don't do sound effects because I don't know what good sound effects are without them being cheesy. I don't really know how to color grade. I don't know how to do a lot of graphic work. I'm trying to get better at that. I'm certainly getting better at using Adobe After Effects, but I want to get better. I want to learn how to use things like Blender. Frankly, I want to get better at using After Effects. I want to be able to make more graphics 3D videos that are, useful. I'm also very freaking slow at editing. It takes me way too long. At the minute, because I've finished up uni, I've got all this time and I'm essentially working on YouTube content and stuff for Instagram and Twitch. So I'm essentially working not quite full time, but nearly. And I'm not going to be able to do that in the future. So I need to get better. I need to use this time to get better at making the videos and to get faster at editing and making graphics and all that stuff. I'm not the best at remembering scripts. I have to read them. I go paragraph by paragraph, and I'm not even the best at looking at the camera, which, I mean, it's a me thing. I'm not the best at maintaining eye contact, and I end up looking at the monitor over to the side rather than the lens far too often. So I'm sorry about that. I'm working on it. Honestly, at some point, if I've got the budget, I will probably buy a teleprompter that can sit on the lens, and that will make things better. Ultimately, what is the takeaway from all this? The takeaway is that I have loved the last 3 years on YouTube. I've loved the progress that I've made. I've loved the skills that I've built. I've loved that I've got better at public speaking, and that I've been able to make so many great videos, well, good videos for you guys. I've hated when life has got in the way, when there's been these 4 or 5 month gaps in my upload schedule, but I really value the community that's built up around this. The fact that if I post something in the community tab, people engage with it, and that people comment on the videos, people like them, people subscribe, and I love this little community. I mean, it's grown up around the videos, it's grown up around my streams over on Twitch. Ultimately, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who's ever watched a video or hit the like button, subscribed, commented, shared it with a friend. I want to say thank you to my friends in the SciComm Collective, to Kat and to Sam and to Simon especially, for letting me make that guest video on his channel. Without these people and without so many more, the last 3 years would not have been what they are. They wouldn't have been as good. And yeah, it's been 3 years of making videos and making content, and I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have too. But now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye to a lot of the things that have made the last 3 years. I've mentioned it a couple of times, I've mentioned it in other videos. I am finishing up university. I graduate in 8 days from the University of St Andrews. And I don't know if or when I will ever be living in St Andrews again. In a few weeks, I will be leaving this flat and going back to my mum's house. And I'm going to be there for the summer before moving into a new house, wherever that's gonna be, because we haven't found one yet. But yeah, I'll be making some videos in the near future to reflect on the last 5 years studying at St Andrews, to talk about what's next. But don't worry, I don't intend to leave YouTube. It's just that I'm leaving St Andrews, and things are going to be a little bit all over the place for a little while. I don't know how many more videos are going to be coming from this flat. I imagine maybe another, 6, I don't know. It depends how many I get filmed before moving out at the end of June. But ultimately, this is a change. I'm leaving St Andrews. I don't know when I'm going to be back. I'm going to be all over the place for the next couple of months. I've got a couple of holidays booked, and I'm not going to be making videos on holiday, I don't think. But don't worry, I fully intend to stay on YouTube. I'm not leaving YouTube. I still want to be a science communicator. I still want to make videos for you guys. I really enjoy it. But these are going to be the last few videos from this flat, and for a while at least, the last few videos from St Andrews. It's going to be a change. So what can you expect going forwards on this channel? I mentioned earlier that I want to pivot more towards science communication. That's what I intend to do. There's been an uptick in science content on the channel, and there's going to be a lot more science content coming out on the channel in the next few weeks, months, and years. There are a number of videos in the works at the minute. There's part 2 and part 3 of the Galactic Center Star Formation series. There's a few other videos that I'm not going to tell you about just now. Just make sure you subscribe, because I'm really excited about them and they're going to be really good. If you've enjoyed the university content and that's what you're here for, and me saying I'm going to be pivoting a lot towards science communication isn't really for you, don't worry. There's still going to be a good amount of university content. I'm pivoting it away from my experiences as an undergraduate student, but I will explain all of that in a future video. Just make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell icon so you don't miss that. There will be an update coming about the future once everything's a little bit more settled. So that's the plan. More science, different university content, new things coming through the pipeline at the minute. Now that I'm free from university, I finished my final assessments, I'm graduating in 8 days. I've got the whole summer, pretty much, barring a couple of holidays, to do stuff. I am working on my weak points. I'm doing courses and learning stuff through YouTube videos to be able to be better at this. I'm improving my coding, I'm improving my editing, I'm improving a load of things, but addressing my own weak points for going forwards, and I'm trying to get faster at editing, because that's really going to save my ass. So I really hope that whether you've been here for 3 years or whether this is your first video, that you're really excited about what's coming next, and if so, please make sure that you are subscribed, that you have liked the video, and that you've hit the bell icon so you don't miss these future videos that are coming up. I've been really enjoying them, so again, thank you to everyone who has made the last 3 years so amazing. We're saying goodbye to St Andrews, we're not saying goodbye to YouTube, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.